Hello, this is the video review for Transformers War for Cybertron Siege Micromasters Off-Road Patrol. So here we've got Powertrain, this nice little orange truck, and Highjump, this I guess SUV off-road type vehicle. They both roll pretty well. What's kind of interesting about Powertrain here is actually two of his wheels are fake. So you see the front wheels and the back wheels roll, but the wheels in the middle are actually sculpted so they're a little bit shorter and they don't actually reach the ground and they don't turn at all. So it's kind of interesting that they still put those little slots there to just make them blend in with the real plastic wheels. In terms of size comparisons, here they are with a couple of the other Siege Micromasters. Couple Armada Minicons. Here's G1 Erector. So a G1, the cab of Erector, so a G1 Micromaster. And here they are with one of the deluxes in Siege Sideswipe. Obviously these vehicles aren't meant to scale in any way, but that's what they look like together. In terms of transformation, we'll do them one by one. So first off with Powertrain, start off with opening the hood section here, and then you see there's two little sort of notches that the back section is tabbed into. So you sort of have to lift it up and then rotate it around those. So you just rotate the whole section, and then move this back down, and untab the arms and untab the legs, and there you have them. Highjump is also pretty simple. Start off by moving this front section up here, which can be a little bit tricky to do at some points, but then just untab the arms from the back here. See there's two little slots that they go into. Then the legs, you actually just bring them down, like sort of double hinge them down, so, and unbend them at the knee, and then rotate it around, then untab them. And there you have them. In robot mode, they look pretty good. They've got pretty good painted detail. In terms of articulation here for Powertrain, his arms can rotate up this way, although the shape of the ball joint makes them kind of like soft pop back into this position, and his arms can go out about that far before his wheels start hitting him in the head. The legs, they can go out about that far as well. What's weird about him is the shape of the cup here for the ball joint actually kind of bumps into the top of the waist piece there, so he really can't move his legs forward much further than that, which is hardly at all. And his backpack gets in the way for moving him back, and kind of the same thing happens, which is a little strange. Then he can bend about 90 degrees at the knee, a little bit less, but doesn't really do much without the hips being able to move forward. And then he can rotate at the waist, even though it bumps into the backpack. For Highjump, he's got again ball joints on the shoulders that can move out, move up, a little bit less limited than Powertrain. He can also rotate at the waist. His hips can go forward just fine and back a little bit before they start hitting into the backpack, and his knees can bend pretty much all the way, although, you know, doesn't really do much since he has such a big chunk of a knee. Doesn't really look like his leg is bending so much. Size comparisons. Here they are again with Big Shot and Flak. Let's zoom out a little bit. Highjump has a bit of a problem standing up sometime. Yep. Here they are with two Armada Minicons again. G1 Erector. Here they are with one of the Siege Battlemasters. Just figured show you what they look like with him. And then lastly, Siege Sideswipe, who's obviously much taller. The last thing that they can do is they can actually turn into a weapon mode for Siege figures. So with Powertrain, you start off by putting the backpack back kind of where it was. There's these little gray sections on the inside of the legs that are kind of hard to pull out. I find it's easy to kind of bend one of the knees and then pull one out, and then rotate the other one out, and then bend the knee back. Then you can tab it back together and tab the arms in, and then there's this this tab that rotates out from the hood. And just put that back in place, and that's his half. And for Highjump, you start off by trying to get this tab out of. He also has a tab in his hood that rotates out. It's kind of tricky to get at. Okay, got it pretty easy that time. Then you just tab the legs together. Come on. And rotate it at the waist. So how this is supposed to work is there's this hole on Highjump's chest and the tab on Powertrain, and you're supposed to plug him in that way, and then the figure holds Highjump's peg. But the hole on Highjump's chest is like way too small for the tab on Powertrain. Like, it just doesn't fit. So the way you kind of have to do it is take the tab on Highjump and put it into the hole on Powertrain, which isn't too different of a gun mode. And then I think it looks better to rotate the waist back over, since that section was supposed to be pointing upward in the other configuration. But yeah, I think it's a pretty good gun mode as the gun modes for the Siege Micromasters go. You can have side swipe, hold on to it. 1 sec. The peg on Powertrain can be a little bit loose sometimes, and so the whole thing will just flop down under its own weight, but it generally holds pretty okay. Jeez. Wah, wah. Then you can use any of the blast effects that come with the Battlemasters and plug them into these little 3mm ports here on Powertrain. There's nowhere for them to plug in on Highjump, unfortunately, but that looks okay. And that peg is just not staying up, even more so than usual. But yeah, that's pretty much their whole deal. They're pretty good little figures. I would say I don't quite like them as much as some of the other Siege Micromasters. They feel a little bit less refined. I don't really like the design of Highjump with the kind of dumb-looking wheels sticking off of his arms. And Powertrain is nice, but he's pretty simple. And some of the articulation is a little annoying. Not that these guys really get many great poses out of them anyway, but there we go. That's Siege, War for Cybertron, Off-Road Patrol, Highjump, and Powertrain. Thanks for watching.